Funny thing is, as I'm watching this Cardinals Seahawks game on Sunday night really get down as a thriller, Arizona ends up winning it with really like maybe about how many seconds they had left in the game. I don't know. But it was definitely like if they would have missed the field goal, it would have been a tie for sure. Like the last time they met on Sunday Night Football. But regardless, let me get to the main point. Keep in mind, these two teams are definitely are two of the best teams in the NFC. And some of their best players are on offense. Defense is respectable, but let's keep it real. All right, and arguably the most key players on offense, you got DeAndre Hopkins for the Cardinals, and on the other side of the bench, or on the other side of the field, you got Dwayne Brown, the tackle for the Seahawks, and they both are playing so well. And when you think about it, there was once a time where both of these players were playing for the Houston Texans, right when Deshaun Watson was stepping in day one to be their franchise quarterback. And it got me to thinking, what kind of organization would trade away the two most important things that a young quarterback needs to be successful going forward? A franchise, in my opinion, and not just any franchise quarterback, a dude who's going to be an icon and Hall of Famer when he hangs it up. The Houston Texans, Bob McNair, you are going to significantly regret this. I think Bill O'Brien did a lot of damage, but essentially, man, it's going to be nothing but a story of what could have been, what should have been. And Deshaun Watson deserves better, but you know what? Dude is a true soldier of God, man. He's strong enough to get through this. He'll rebound it, but man, I'm looking at that. I can't help it. I hear Chris Collinsworth breaking down on how great Dwayne Brown is, and I've seen him moving. I'm like, damn, he's moving like he's the best left tackle in the game. And you see DeAndre Hopkins balling like the best wide receiver in the game. I'm like, a blindside tackle and a wide receiver, a number one, right? I'm like, you had those two things at Houston, and they didn't walk away willingly. They were traded. For what reason? Makes no sense. I wouldn't have even traded a first-round pick for a franchise left tackle. That was the biggest mortal sin to me as a guy that envisions himself as a New York Football Giants GM one day. To me, it's a mortal sin to go against, your franchise quarterback or who you will build your quarterback around. You already had things set up. You already had your number one receiver. You had your blindside tackle. Look where Deshaun Watson was at. Yeah, he struggled. I mean, to me, his best offensive line that he had was his rookie year before he lost Dwayne Brown to the Seahawks. And it makes you think that was his best year, in my opinion, when it came to having success and being able to do what he had to do on a consistent basis before he got hurt. I mean, first he gets hurt his first year, and then he loses his tackle. A couple years later, he loses his receiver. And it's like, well, you're doing the opposite of what a team with a young franchise quarterback is supposed to do. Y'all should be building as a contender, not breaking things down as if y'all preparing to be getting a quarterback. It's like, why are you guys doing a sellout? You don't need that. It's like reverse psychology that makes no sense whatsoever. So to me, I feel like Bill O'Brien, you really did your quarterback a disservice, man. And, it shows in you losing your job. You deserve it, man. You really did. You know what I mean? And to me, you could have prevented both things. You could have prevented DeAndre Hopkins directly from being traded in the first place. All because the attitude, really, you can't work with them. It's like, dog, as a coach, you got to learn to coach players. It comes with part of the job, man. You got to stop thinking like GM when it comes to dealing with players. Like, you can't do that, bro. That's being way too OP and way too in your head. You deserve that. And Hopkins, he's gone through a lot. If you really study his life story, humbling, man. Ain't no way to deal with a man like that. Like, that's disrespect, man. Two, yeah, you may not have been the main person that shipped away Dwayne Brown, but you could have had a say in it. Whether it was that you wanted him out or you could have prevented him from being traded and said something to McNair. Since you had the power to become GM afterwards, it tells me that you definitely was heavily influenced to have a say in the matter. You could have prevented this and been like, nah, I need Dwayne here. Don't lose him. We need him for Deshaun. You could have at least built it up. Maybe wait to get the next future left tackle, then trade Dwayne Brown or something like that. At least have a backup plan before you do that. You know what I mean? It's just like, unless you really plan on starting from scratch, retrading Deshaun Watson away for multiple first-round picks or something like that to just build your team even more or something, that's something else. At this point, you might be thinking that they might do that next. I mean, who knows? Maybe if Bill O'Brien's still the GM for next season, he might be looking to trade Deshaun Watson. So, you know what I mean? Who knows? But I'm just saying, like, it's funny. I think out of everyone, we're going to be rooting for Deshaun Watson the most. I know Dak right now, he's got everyone's love. You know, I'm definitely rooting for him to come back. But at the end of the day, it really is between those two Texas boys playing quarterback. But I know they're not from Texas. But, like, I'm just saying, they play in Texas. But I'm just saying, man, follow with me. You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, we're all going to want to see, more likely, Deshaun Watson hoist the trophy more than we want to see Dak because he plays for the Cowboys. It is what it is. You know, we love him, but it is, you know, you don't love the Cowboys. It goes without saying. But, yeah, I think everyone's going to be truly jumping with joy and celebrating when Deshaun Watson holds a trophy above all else because he had to go through what Dak did his first, you know, Dak went through right now. He had to go through that his first season, not to mention, and then some. So I think if any quarterback suffered the most throughout this, Deshaun Watson has within the last 3-4 years. And I'm telling you, man, he deserves it. He deserves, not deserves all this. He deserves better. And he's going to deserve winning a championship. And when it happens, we're all going to feel satisfied. So I'm pulling out for you, fool. Keep doing your thing. In the meantime, you know, just do what you got to do to keep your team afloat. And it's funny. Both quarterbacks be wearing 4, man. So 4-4, man. Keep it going, man. 4 of a kind. You got 2 of them in Texas. You know what I mean? They both represent that Favre, flair. So do what you got to do to keep your team afloat, man. Deuces.